In 2007, a man was stabbed to death in his own home. The murder weapon was never found, and nearly 2 decades later, and still, no one has been arrested for the murder. But tonight, for the first time, we're learning more about possible suspects. This is Cold Case with Alice Gaynor, who killed Stephen Spina.
From Steven Spina's entrance into the world and other moments in between,
he's just been a headline since he was born.
And never more widely so than in death.
The murder remains a mystery in Westchester County.
Spina was stabbed to death at his Mamaroneck apartment.
I can't understand who would do this to him.
His private life was very private. As much as they knew, there was a lot they didn't know.
It's been 18 years. It's insane.
Radcliffe Spina sits on a bench dedicated to her father, Steven Spina, overlooking the ball fields where he coached, umpired, and played in Mamaroneck.
So he was very much in love with baseball?
Yes, very much.
He was also very much in love with being a father.
He was just very much about me.
Though Skylar's parents were not together, she sometimes stayed at her dad's.
There wasn't a day I did not see him. He came to my mom's house after work, helped me with homework.
The last time she saw him, September 16th, 2007.
Oh, we just went to church. Gave me a hug and said he'll see me tomorrow.
The next day, September 17th, Skylar, then 12 years old, and her father had plans to go to a Yankees game. Instead,
Monday afternoon, a friend found Spina stabbed to death at Spina's co-op in Mamaroneck.
Her mother broke the news to her that her 36-year-old father had been killed.
I screamed so loud my poor grandmother came flying up the stairs because she didn't know yet either.
300 Rich Bell Road.
Yep. So this is where Steven lived. This is his apartment.
David Castorella was the lead detective on the case.
Everything's relevant.
Now retired from the Village of Mamaroneck Police Department, he was also friends with Steven and responded to the call that came in for a DOA, or dead on arrival.
I just see Steven's laying on the floor.
Spina was off from work that day and had plans to have lunch with his girlfriend Tamara. That morning, Castorella says a neighbor spotted him outside.
She saw him about 9:30 in the morning or so, come down the stairs and walk out. We don't have anything on his phone. We don't know how long he was out for. Our theory is that, okay, who does he come out and see? Did he come out and have a conversation with somebody and that didn't go so well? And he goes back in, the person comes back in with him and knocks on the door.
Around lunchtime, Tamara couldn't get a hold of him.
Well, from what she tells us is she came in, she goes in through this door, gets upstairs, the door is locked, she's banging on the door, he won't open it. They're supposed to have a lunch date. She comes back out, she finds a super in the area, and they come back and the super opens the door, and she sees him laying down on the floor. Evidence in the scene kind of depicts that that's kind of what happened, that he got kind of attacked at the door. There was some bloody footprints in the kitchen.
What state was his body in? Did he have defensive wounds?
A lot of defensive wounds, a lot of wounds on the left side of the body, which kind of would tell you that the attacker was right-handed. He was stabbed multiple times. It's an excessive amount.
Was anything taken from the apartment?
Doesn't appear anything was taken. There was no signs of forced entry. It looks like Steven opened the door for whoever it may have been.
Spina worked as a mail carrier in Larchmont. Richard Shrapek was a colleague.
And then we became friends, and Steve was one of the guys that accompanied me on many of my baseball and football trips that we've had together. He was quite like me in that I didn't go to a city to just go to the game. I wanted to experience the city. So if we went to St. Louis, we went to the Arch, we went to Detroit, we went to the Henry Ford Museum. He was very friendly, very outgoing, always wanted to have a good time, didn't take things too seriously.
Shrapek says the last time he spoke to Spina was the night before the murder.
I was at a Bears game. Steve got a kick out of the Bears fight song, so I called him and held my phone up to the speakers as close as I could to get the sound. And I said, "There's your song," and we were laughing and joking about it.
The next day, Shrapek would receive a call from another colleague. Immediately, he thought maybe Spina was accidentally killed outside while delivering mail.
Who would want to hurt him?
No idea. No idea.
Did he have any enemies at work or anyone you knew about?
Not that I knew about. He was loved by everybody.
But Spina was involved in a dispute with a village public works employee who he suspected of slashing his car tires a few weeks prior.
The one guy thought that Stephen was trying to pick up his girlfriend because he saw her and talked to her.
Castorella says Spina came to see him at his house and he told him to file a police report.
He never gave me the full story either, and I don't think he gave the police department the full story. He went and reported it and then kind of let it go. And there were other things going on with Stephen at the time.
Other things that didn't come to light until the investigation into his murder. Stephen's girlfriend's car had been vandalized more than once, threatening notes left behind. But the couple never reported it.
Poured acid on it of some sort that damaged the paint pretty good.
But he believes the tire slashing and her car vandalism are unrelated. Castorella explains Spina and his girlfriend Tamara were off and on, that Spina was a ladies' man and dated around.
This happened to be a really good time for them, though. They were doing well, which is why probably the notes were put there, because he probably wasn't talking to these other people now.
Shrapek says while he didn't get overly personal with Spina,
I told him a couple times that he was kind of immature about the way he went about things and treated people. He didn't really care, you know. I'm having a good time.
Are you talking about dating?
Dating, yeah. Just having a good time. So.
His car damaged by someone completely different, it seems. Her car damaged by somebody else. He ends up dead. What are your theories?
Possible main theory is that one person, you know, one of the girls or whatever had somebody come here and help, because I don't think a female could do what was done to him alone. That's not impossible, but I think there would have been more of a struggle than they showed.
How many people do you think are involved?
I think at least two. One of our people that we looked into has moved to Jamaica recently, from what I was told.
That person, he says, was a woman Spina met along his mail route.
Police believe someone was very angry at Steven Spina.
CBS News New York reporter Tony Aiello covered the case.
One of the first things we do as reporters is look for surveillance video because it helps in telling the story. There's so many people who live in this neighborhood and so few cameras. So I think right away we got the feeling that this one might be difficult for the police.
A lack of physical evidence means information people may be holding on to is critical.
I know people know something. I know that people through our interviewing process who really weren't forthcoming while we talked to them, who were friends with some of the suspects.
Castorella thinks of his friend often.
I drive by here all the time and say to him, give me something. Just give me something one day. Just, you know, I don't know. We're both pretty religious guys.
Skylar, now 30 years old, is thinking of publishing a book of poetry her father wrote. She has tattoos that remind her of him, and also has a child of her own now.
He's got a big smile like my dad. A lot of his facial expressions he makes are my dad. And he was the best dad, so he would have been an even better grandpa. And he wanted a boy so bad. So now to have a grandson that he can't play with and do all the things with sucks.
From that day forward, you know, how did you change as a person? How did your life change?
It's very safe here, but it's a very unsafe feeling, like for me now. So after that, like growing up, I just didn't feel safe ever.
But she says she's not letting what happened to him define who she is.
At my job, I'm a CNA, so I take care of people, and all of them say like, oh, like you're always so happy, you're always smiling. And that's how my dad was, so I try to be a lot like him.
Old enough to know the details of the case now, she's taken over for the family and has this plea.
If anyone knows, there's tip lines. You can comment anonymously. No one has to know. You know.
Village police declined an interview, citing an active investigation. We also reached out to Spina's then-girlfriend Tamara, but never heard back. Police did say she cooperated for months. If you know anything, call police. Alice Gaynor, CBS News, New York.
And if you have any information that may be helpful to authorities, here are some of those numbers you can call right here. For the village of Mamaroneck Police, call 914-825-8760. For New York State Crime Stoppers, call 1-866-313-TIPS. That's 8477.